You've heard the word before. Maybe from a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat or a cartoon wizard casting a spell. Abracadabra, it sounds playful, almost ridiculous, like something made up just to entertain children. But what if I told you this word was never meant for tricks or illusions? What if I told you it held a secret so powerful that ancient civilizations used it to heal disease, protect themselves from misfortune, and even shape reality itself? This isn't just a random phrase thrown around for fun. It's an incantation, one that was once whispered by mystics, written in sacred patterns, and believed to hold the power to change the physical world. For centuries, it was taken seriously, passed down through generations as a tool to ward off darkness and bring about transformation. But somewhere along the way, its meaning was stripped, distorted, and buried beneath layers of ridicule and misinterpretation. Why? Because those who understood its true nature knew it was too powerful. If people realized they could influence their reality simply by the words they spoke and the intentions they held, the entire structure of control would begin to crumble. The idea that thoughts and words could shape existence wasn't just spiritual, it was a direct challenge to the systems designed to keep people powerless. So the meaning of abracadabra was hidden in plain sight, reduced to nothing more than a magician's gimmick. But the truth never really disappears. It lingers, waiting to be rediscovered by those who are ready to see. And once you understand the real power behind this word, you'll never look at it the same way again. And hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Serving Your Success family. The story of abracadabra stretches back much further than most realize, hidden in the annals of ancient traditions, healing practices, and mysticism. When you hear it today, it's easy to dismiss it as nothing more than a playful incantation from the world of magic. But to truly understand its power, we need to take a deep dive into its origins and where it all began. Some of the earliest linguistic roots of the word can be traced to Aramaic and Hebrew, languages known for their deep spiritual significance. In Aramaic, abracadabra is believed to derive from the phrase avracadabra, which translates roughly to "I create as I speak." This simple yet profound concept reveals that the very act of speaking can create reality, a direct reflection of the power that words and thoughts hold over the world around us. This aligns with ancient spiritual beliefs, especially within the Gnostic traditions, which emphasized the idea that divine knowledge and the ability to influence the material world were closely connected. The Gnostics believed that by speaking the right words, one could access deeper layers of wisdom and control the forces of nature. But the origins of abracadabra don't stop there. Some scholars have suggested that it may have connections to ancient Greek or Latin, though these theories are less widely accepted. There are alternative etymologies that link it to Greek magical practices or Roman rituals, where invocations of the gods were often performed using sacred language to ward off evil spirits or influence the forces of nature. However, the most widely accepted understanding of the word's origin centers around its roots in ancient spiritual healing and mysticism, which was closely intertwined with early medical practices. The first recorded use of abracadabra dates back to the 2nd century CE, when the Roman physician Cyrenus Simonicus used it as part of his medical practice. Simonicus was known for his unconventional approaches to healing and was highly regarded in Roman society. One of the methods he employed was the use of abracadabra as a cure for disease. He prescribed the word to be written on a piece of parchment in a specific, triangular form, with each successive line of letters gradually losing one letter until only the letter A remained. This process was thought to work in a way that gradually diminished the power of the illness or disease, much like how the letters disappeared one by one, symbolizing the gradual removal of negativity or illness from the body. The power behind this practice wasn't just based on superstition, it was rooted in the belief that words and symbols held intrinsic energy. By invoking abracadabra in this specific pattern, it was believed that the illness would be absorbed by the word, and with each letter that was erased, the sickness would also be erased from the person's body. This concept of sympathetic magic, the belief that like causes like, was a common practice in ancient medicine, where physical acts were used to influence the metaphysical world. As the word spread across ancient cultures, it became more than just a medical cure. Abracadabra took on a deeper significance within mysticism and esoteric practices, where it was used to protect against evil spirits, bring about personal transformation, and even manifest desires. It became intertwined with the very fabric of spiritual practices throughout the Roman Empire, and its influence lasted for centuries, eventually reaching the hands of the early Christians, who also used the word in their own forms of protective rituals. The history of abracadabra reveals that it was not a word born out of entertainment or illusion. Its origins are deeply tied to the healing arts, ancient wisdom, and the belief in the power of words to shape reality. From its roots in Aramaic to its use by ancient healers like Serenus Simonicus, abracadabra has always been far more than a mere chant. It has been a bridge between the material world and the unseen forces that govern it. And as we'll see, its true power is far more than just a relic of the past. It has the potential to change the course of your life today. Throughout history, abracadabra has been used by a wide range of cultures and groups, each invoking its power for different purposes, but all with a shared belief in the profound effect words and symbols can have on reality. The word's usage stretches far beyond the magical stage, offering insight into how different traditions harnessed its power for protection, healing, and manifestation. In ancient Rome, abracadabra was commonly used as a written amulet to protect against disease, particularly during times of plague. The Romans believed that the word possessed protective powers, and so it became a staple in their medical practices. During widespread outbreaks of illness, people would write abracadabra on parchment or a small piece of paper, then carry it as a talisman or hang it around their necks. Its power was thought to be amplified when written in the famous triangular form, which mirrored the gradual disappearance of illness from the body. The idea was that the sickness would fade away as the letters vanished, offering a form of mystical healing. This widespread use during pandemics highlights just how central abracadabra was to Roman beliefs about disease and protection. The Gnostics and early mystics, on the other hand, saw abracadabra as more than just a tool for physical protection. They incorporated it into their esoteric practices, believing that it could help ward off not only physical illness but also negative energy and spiritual ailments. For the Gnostics, the word's connection to creation and divine speech gave it power over the unseen forces that shaped the world. These early spiritual seekers were deeply attuned to the invisible energies of the universe and recognized the potential of abracadabra as a means to influence these energies. They believed that by uttering or writing the word, one could harmonize themselves with the divine and protect themselves from malevolent forces. This view of the word as a divine tool for spiritual and physical protection placed it at the core of early mysticism. Similarly, Kabbalists, who were deeply immersed in the study of Hebrew mysticism, saw abracadabra as a powerful linguistic tool linked to divine creation. Kabbalah teaches that the universe was created through the use of sacred language, and the words we speak have the ability to shape our reality. Abracadabra fit perfectly into this worldview, as it was believed to carry a vibrational energy that could align the practitioner with the divine. The Hebrew connection to the word adds another layer of spiritual depth, as the Kabbalists believed that its syllables held a unique resonance, capable of unlocking divine wisdom and manifesting protection. To the Kabbalist, abracadabra wasn't just a tool for healing, it was a sacred invocation, one that could open channels to the divine world and transform the practitioner's experience of reality. In the medieval period, healers and physicians continued to use abracadabra in their practices, writing the word on amulets, parchments, or even metal plates to be worn around the neck or placed under pillows. These amulets were believed to carry immense power, offering protection from evil spirits, illness, and misfortune. Medieval physicians often combined abracadabra with other magical or herbal remedies, viewing the word as an essential element of their healing toolkit. It wasn't just a superstition, it was part of a broader system of magic and medicine that sought to influence both the physical and spiritual worlds. Later on, occultists and alchemists also recognized the power of abracadabra, incorporating it into their rituals and practices. In these esoteric circles, words and symbols were seen as powerful tools that could shape reality. Occultists understood that language, particularly ancient and sacred words, could be used to tap into the hidden forces of the universe. Abracadabra was viewed as one of these sacred words, with the power to both protect and manifest. Whether used in ritual invocations or as a standalone incantation, the word was believed to act as a key, unlocking mystical energies that could influence the material world. As we can see, abracadabra has been used by a diverse array of groups throughout history, each recognizing its power in their own way. Whether it was the Romans using it to ward off disease, the Gnostics tapping into its spiritual significance, the Kabbalists seeing it as a divine tool, medieval healers turning to it for protection, or occultists and alchemists using it to shape reality, the word has held a central place in human consciousness for centuries. Its use across cultures and traditions reveals a common thread, the belief that words have the power to influence not only the physical world but the unseen forces that shape our reality. This widespread use highlights just how potent abracadabra truly is, far more than a mere incantation. It's a tool for healing, protection, and transformation. The way abracadabra was used over the centuries reveals much about its profound connection to ancient healing, protection, and manifestation practices. Its methods of use were deeply symbolic, tapping into the belief that words, once spoken or written, could shape reality itself. Let's dive into how this powerful word was employed and what it symbolized. One of the most fascinating ways abracadabra was utilized was through the triangular inscription method. This method was not just about writing the word down, it was a spiritual and energetic process. To perform it, the word was first written in full at the top of a piece of parchment or other material. Then, as you moved down the page, each successive line would contain one less letter from the previous one, until the word was reduced to a single letter at the bottom. The result was an inverted triangle, with abracadabra starting at its widest point at the top and gradually narrowing to a single letter. This structure was significant. It symbolized the gradual dissolution of illness or negativity. As the letters disappeared, so too was the negative energy thought to fade away. It's as if the word itself was actively working to eliminate the unwanted forces in the practitioner's life, shrinking them, and eventually vanishing them entirely. This method of inscription wasn't just an aesthetic choice, it was believed that the power of abracadabra grew stronger as it was written in this way. The process of gradually disappearing the letters mirrored the process of the illness or curse leaving the body or situation. It's easy to see why this technique became so central to the word's usage. The visual symbolism of the triangle, with its tapering shape and the diminishing of letters, gave the practitioner the feeling that they were actively purging negativity, step by step, with each new line. Another common way abracadabra was used was as an amulet. People would inscribe the word onto stone, parchment, or even metal, then wear it around their neck or carry it in their pockets. The belief was that abracadabra had protective powers, shielding the wearer from sickness, misfortune, and even evil spirits. Its magical properties were thought to be activated by the physical presence of the word close to the person. Much like how modern-day people might carry lucky charms or talismans, wearing abracadabra served as a shield against negative forces. The word itself was a tool for maintaining health, safety, and good fortune. It was believed that, by wearing the amulet, the person would stay protected from harm and be shielded from the dangers of the physical world as well as the unseen spiritual world. Once the abracadabra amulet had served its purpose, it was often burned or buried in a ritual completion. The act of destroying the written word wasn't seen as disrespectful, it was, in fact, an essential step in the process. The belief was that once the negativity or illness had been banished, the physical manifestation of the word had to be finished off to close the process. Burning or burying the amulet signified the final step in its removal from the person's life. By burning it, the energy was consumed by fire, and by burying it, it was returned to the earth, symbolizing that the unwanted energy had been grounded and expelled. This final act of destruction was considered the ritual's conclusion, sealing the healing or protective process and ensuring that the negative force would not return. Another method of using abracadabra was by speaking it aloud as an incantation. For centuries, it was recited with deep belief and intention to manifest desired outcomes. Whether used for protection, healing, or even material manifestation, speaking the word was thought to activate its magic. In many ways, this aligns with the modern understanding of affirmations and the power of words to shape our reality. By speaking abracadabra, the practitioner was invoking the energy of the word, directing it towards their specific needs. This verbal invocation wasn't just about the sound of the word, it was about the energy and intent behind it. The belief was that, when spoken with focus and faith, abracadabra could directly influence the material and spiritual realms, drawing the practitioner closer to their desires and ensuring their success. All these methods of using abracadabra highlight its deep connection to ancient mystical practices. Whether through writing, wearing as an amulet, destroying to seal a ritual, or speaking as a sacred incantation, the word was seen as a key to unlocking the forces of the universe. It wasn't simply a word, it was a tool for transformation, one that could protect, heal, and manifest. Each usage method was a way to activate its power, and the belief in its magic remained strong throughout the centuries. Abracadabra was much more than just a quaint magic trick. It was an ancient practice that harnessed the power of language, intention, and belief to shape reality itself. The immense power attributed to abracadabra goes far beyond its use as a simple word. There's a deep, mystical foundation behind its perceived magic, stemming from the very way it was written, spoken, and understood. Its potency was rooted in several profound concepts, including sacred geometry, the ancient understanding of sound and vibration, and the connection to modern manifestation practices. One of the core elements that made abracadabra so powerful was its connection to sacred geometry and the symbolic power of shapes. The word was not just written randomly, it was structured in a precise and intentional way, forming an inverted triangle. The triangle, in esoteric traditions, is more than just a shape. It represents balance, harmony, and the flow of energy. In the case of abracadabra, the triangular formation represented dispersion and elimination, a symbolic representation of how the word would gradually dissolve illness, negativity, or any undesirable force. As the letters disappeared, so too did the negative energies they were meant to expel. This triangular pattern wasn't just a form of symmetry, it was a manifestation of the concept of balance being restored as the negative influence was wiped away piece by piece. In addition to sacred geometry, the ancient understanding of sound and vibration played a major role in the word's power. Early mystics and spiritual practitioners had an intimate knowledge of how sound could shape reality. They understood that words are not just sounds but carry vibrations that can influence both the material and spiritual worlds. The vibrational power of language was at the heart of many mystical and healing practices. Abracadabra, as a word, was no exception. It was believed that the sound of the word itself, when spoken with intent, carried a vibrational frequency that could either create or destroy. Just as a stone dropped into a still pond creates ripples that affect the entire surface, the spoken word was believed to ripple out into the universe, influencing events, health, and circumstances. By speaking abracadabra, practitioners were tuning into a vibrational frequency that had the potential to shift their reality, eliminating disease, attracting protection, or manifesting desires. This understanding of the power of sound and vibration brings us to modern manifestation practices that echo the ancient use of abracadabra. The concept of affirmations and the law of attraction is strikingly similar to how abracadabra was used to influence reality. In modern-day manifestation practices, we believe that by speaking or thinking positively and focusing on desired outcomes, we can draw those things into our lives. The principle behind this is that our thoughts and words have a certain vibrational frequency that attracts similar energy from the universe. This is precisely what the ancients believed when they used abracadabra. Just as people today might say affirmations to attract prosperity or healing, the ancients would use the word abracadabra with the belief that by speaking it or inscribing it, they were aligning themselves with the energy of their desires. Similarly, the use of abracadabra aligns with the practice of mantras in Hinduism and Buddhism. In these traditions, words or sounds are repeated over and over to bring about a specific result, whether it's to achieve enlightenment, clear negative energy, or connect to a higher consciousness. The repetition of a mantra is believed to activate its vibrational power, just as the act of writing or speaking abracadabra was believed to invoke its magical qualities. Both practices rely on the idea that intention and vibration are key to manifesting desired outcomes. In this sense, abracadabra wasn't just a tool, it was a sacred sound with the potential to align the individual with the forces of the universe. All of these elements, the sacred geometry, the vibrational power of words, and the connection to modern-day manifestation, come together to explain why abracadabra was seen as such a powerful tool. It wasn't just a random incantation or a word used by magicians, it was a word imbued with profound mystical significance, a tool for shaping reality, and a symbol of the power of language to create and transform. Whether it was used to heal, protect, or manifest, abracadabra tapped into deep, universal truths about how words and symbols can influence our world and our lives. Over time, abracadabra, once a powerful and revered word used for healing, protection, and manifestation, became a shadow of its former self, reduced to a mere stage trick and stripped of its true meaning. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but was the result of centuries of social, religious, and cultural changes that reshaped how the word, and by extension, its power, was perceived. One of the primary factors in the demystification of abracadabra was the rise of religious suppression, particularly with the spread of Christianity and other monotheistic religions. During this time, any practices or beliefs that were seen as empowering individuals outside the control of the church were labeled as heretical or superstitious. Mysticism, esoteric knowledge, and even folk medicine were targeted as threats to religious authority. Abracadabra, with its deep mystical and healing roots, became one of the many sacred practices that was swept away in the tide of religious intolerance. What was once seen as a powerful tool for personal empowerment and protection was now viewed as a dangerous and unholy practice. This led to its banishment from mainstream society, where it became associated with witchcraft, paganism, and other so-called forbidden practices. Over time, the church worked to discredit any form of spiritual empowerment that didn't align with its teachings, and abracadabra was forced to retreat into the shadows of folklore. As time marched on, the Enlightenment period brought a significant shift in how people viewed the world. Rationalism, logic, and science began to replace the mystical explanations of reality that had been so central to ancient spiritual practices. The scientific revolution offered new ways of understanding the universe, and many older traditions, including the use of words like abracadabra, were pushed aside as primitive or superstitious. People started to view the world through the lens of medicine, biology, and chemistry, and as science became the dominant authority, the mystical and spiritual practices associated with abracadabra fell out of favor. What had once been a revered word used for healing was now relegated to the realm of folklore, a mere curiosity, passed down in children's rhymes and dismissed as an outdated relic of the past. No longer seen as a tool for shaping reality, the word became something of a quaint, harmless artifact of a bygone era. As the centuries passed, abracadabra further lost its true meaning as it was co-opted by the modern entertainment industry. By the time magic shows and stage performances became popular in the 19th and 20th centuries, illusionists and magicians needed to build an air of mystery and wonder around their acts. In this context, abracadabra became a useful catchphrase to accompany magical tricks. But this wasn't the abracadabra of ancient mysticism, it was a watered-down version, stripped of its profound power and significance. The word was now a simple chant, uttered in jest, meant to entertain audiences, rather than to invoke transformation. Magicians, who were experts at creating illusions and manipulating perception, adopted abracadabra to lend an aura of mystery to their performances. It became synonymous with magic tricks and stage illusions, far removed from its original purpose of invoking real change or healing. The true meaning of the word was buried beneath layers of showmanship and spectacle. And with each passing generation, the word became increasingly associated with childhood games or simple magic shows, completely disconnected from the deep spiritual and mystical practices that once gave it power. In many ways, the transformation of abracadabra from a revered incantation to a mere stage trick mirrors the broader decline of mystical knowledge in the modern world. As society moved away from esoteric teachings and embraced rationality and materialism, much of the wisdom of the ancients was lost or deliberately suppressed. Abracadabra's journey from a powerful tool for healing and manifestation to a simple magic word uttered by magicians reflects how our collective consciousness shifted, moving from the mystical to the mundane. Yet, beneath the surface, the ancient power of the word still remains, waiting to be rediscovered and reclaimed by those who are willing to look beyond the illusion and rediscover the true magic that once existed in every letter. The misconception that abracadabra is evil or connected to black magic is one that has persisted for centuries. Because of its associations with mysticism, healing, and the occult, many people have been led to believe that the word itself is inherently dangerous or sinister. This idea comes from the cultural tendency to label anything that falls outside the mainstream or challenges established authority as something dark or forbidden. In the past, any form of power that wasn't directly controlled by religious or political institutions was often demonized, especially if it promised to empower individuals to shape their own realities. But is abracadabra really evil or tied to dark forces? The truth is, abracadabra is simply a tool, no different from any other word or symbol that humans have used throughout history to invoke change. Just like words themselves, the power of abracadabra comes from how it is used, not from an inherent evil or dark magic associated with it. In the hands of someone with the right intention, it can be a force for healing, transformation, and protection. The notion that it is evil is rooted in a misunderstanding of its true origins and purpose. In fact, the word was originally used as a remedy for disease, a protection against evil, and a means of manifesting positive change. These purposes do not align with the characteristics of black magic or the occult. Yet, throughout history, different cultures have been quick to label powerful knowledge as forbidden. This is especially true when the knowledge challenges the established social, religious, or political systems. In the case of abracadabra, its power was rooted in a profound understanding of how words and symbols could shape reality, and this was something that many religious and political institutions could not control or fully understand. Rather than accepting that people could harness this power for personal transformation and healing, these institutions chose to demonize it, pushing it into the shadows of superstition and fear. So, the question remains, what is the real danger? The real danger lies not in the word itself, but in not understanding the true power of words and thoughts. Words are incredibly powerful. They shape our perceptions, our beliefs, and our actions. When spoken with intention, words can transform our reality. Just as abracadabra was used in ancient times to bring about healing and banish illness, modern-day affirmations, mantras, and positive self-talk are forms of magical practice, using words to shape the world around us. The more we align ourselves with the understanding that we are co-creators of our reality, the more we see the potential of language to manifest our desires. The danger comes when we give our words and thoughts negative power, when we use them in ways that limit us, feed into fear, or reinforce negative beliefs about ourselves. In a world where so many people are conditioned to believe they are powerless, unaware of their innate ability to create, the true danger lies in not recognizing the power of intention and language. The belief that we are victims of circumstances rather than creators of our own lives is far more dangerous than any word or symbol could ever be. In the end, abracadabra is neither good nor evil, it's simply a reminder of the power words hold. Just as any word can be used for good or ill, it is our intention and awareness that truly determine its impact. The next time you hear the word abracadabra, remember that it carries with it an ancient truth. We are the creators of our reality, and we have the power to manifest whatever we desire, if we only understand the magic of our words. Now that you understand the true power behind abracadabra, you may be wondering how to tap into this ancient knowledge in your own life. It all comes down to the profound phrase, "I create as I speak." This isn't just some mystical idea, it's a deeply rooted truth. Words are not merely a means of communication, they are a vibrational force that shapes our inner world and, by extension, our external reality. When we speak with intention and belief, we begin to shape the world around us, consciously or unconsciously. The phrase, "I create as I speak," is a reminder of the power of language. We often forget how much influence our words have over our circumstances. The ancient mystics and healers used abracadabra not just as a word, but as an instrument for creation. By speaking words with deep belief, they felt they could literally bring their desires into being, shift their energy, and clear negativity from their lives. You have this same power available to you right now. So, how can you use abracadabra today to start creating the life you desire? One of the most powerful ways is by using the descending format, just as the ancient mystics did. Write down your desire or intention, but instead of writing it out in full, write it in a descending format, removing one letter at a time, just like the original abracadabra inscription. As you write, imagine that each missing letter represents the disappearance of obstacles, negativity, or resistance to your desires. With each letter that fades away, the thing you want to manifest becomes more real and attainable. This simple act of writing can serve as a physical representation of the manifestation process, where you are literally erasing the barriers standing between you and your desires. Another method is to speak affirmations with full belief. Just like abracadabra was spoken with the intent to create, you can say phrases like, "I am worthy," "I am successful," or "I attract abundance" with full confidence, as if these words are already manifesting in your life. When you speak affirmations with emotion and intent, you are sending out powerful vibrations into the universe, signaling that you are ready to receive. The more you repeat these words, the more your mind will begin to align with them, and your external world will begin to reflect your inner beliefs. You can also use abracadabra as a mantra to clear negativity from your life. When you find yourself overwhelmed with negative thoughts, feelings, or situations, use the word abracadabra to reset your energy. Say it out loud or in your mind with the intention that any negativity or harmful energy is being cleared away. As you speak it, visualize the negative energy dissolving, much like the letters in the word disappearing. This practice can help shift your vibration and open the door for positivity, abundance, and healing. There is scientific evidence that words influence our reality too. Studies in quantum physics and neuroscience have shown that our thoughts and language can affect our perception of reality and even alter the way our brain functions. When we speak words of positivity and affirmation, our brains release chemicals that improve our mood and health. On a spiritual level, many believe that words are a direct connection to the universe, and what we speak into existence will begin to manifest in the material world. Whether you're working with the law of attraction, tapping into energy healing, or simply practicing self-empowerment, the connection between words and creation is undeniable. Now that you know the hidden truth about abracadabra, the question is, what will you create? What do you want to bring into your life? Your words have more power than you realize, and the universe is ready to support you. So, whether you're manifesting abundance, health, love, or peace, start speaking and writing with intention. Create the life you've always wanted, because the power has been inside you all along. What will you say today to shape your reality? The answer is in your words. Now that you know the hidden truth behind the power of words, drop this in the comments to claim your creative power. I create as I speak. Believe in your ability to shape your reality and watch how your words transform your world. Let's make magic happen together. If this message touched your heart and you'd like to support the channel, consider tapping the super thanks button found below. Your support helps us grow this community, and I'm deeply grateful for it. Please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who could use this message today, and subscribe for more. And as we part for now, always remember, your light, your love, and your presence are a gift to the world. Until next time, keep trusting in the process and know that everything is unfolding perfectly for you. Keep your beautiful light shining bright.